Good morning, students. This class is addressed to the students of Law Department. And so today we'll learn the second part of Module 3, that is Basic Sounds of English. So you know that for knowing a language properly, you need to know the sounds of that language very carefully. So as we know that English alphabet has 26 letters. We know that, right? So these letters represent 44 distinct sounds of English. Now English language has 44 phonemes or speech sounds which are further divided into two categories. That is vowel speech sounds and consonant speech sounds. Vowel speech sounds are simply called vowel sounds and consonant speech sounds are called consonant sounds. Now these 44 sounds are further divided into 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds. Now, what is a phoneme? I use the term phoneme, right? So did you understand what is the meaning of a phoneme? A phoneme is the smallest unit of speech in a language. For example, changing the first phoneme in a word like cat can produce a different word with completely different meaning, such as rat. So what happened here? The phoneme called k is replaced by the phoneme called r. The meaning also changed, whereas the word also changed. The phoneme is always represented by slashes. Remember that. So a symbol represents a sound here. So these symbols belong to International Phonetic Alphabet, which is in abbreviation called IPA. What is IPA? It is a system of phonetic notation, and it is devised by linguists to provide a standardized, accurate, and unique way of representing sounds of any spoken language. It is also used in some dictionaries and textbooks to indicate pronunciation. If you want to know any pronunciation of any word, you can find out in the dictionary, like beside each word there is some symbols. Those symbols are called phonemes, and it is defined by the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. And what is defined? That what would be the correct pronunciation of that particular word. So understood what is a phoneme? Now these sounds or these speech sounds are produced in three ways. What is the first way of producing speech sound? The first way is the oral and the nasal way. What is the second? The second is voiced and voiceless. And the third is how vowels and consonants are produced. So at first we will deal with oral and nasal way. How one oral sound and how one nasal sound is produced. So at first we'll go by oral sounds, but both this oral and nasal sounds are produced completely depending upon the position of the soft palate. Now, where is the soft palate situated? This soft palate is situated at the back of the roof of your mouth. It sits just behind your hard palate, and it is a muscular part, and it plays obviously a very vital role in case of speech production. So how is this oral sound produced? This is produced by allowing the air or wind which is coming through the windpipe to escape from your mouth, as opposed to nose as in nasal sounds. So to create an oral sound, your entire mouth plays a very vital role in modifying the air's passageway. What do I mean by air's passageway? in which way the air will go out. It has to go out, right? It is coming out of the lung. Then, as I told you in my previous slide, the whole airstream mechanism, it is passing through the windpipe, coming out to your throat. Then it has to come out, right? Either from your mouth or from your nose. If it comes from your mouth, then it is the oral sound. And if it comes out of your nose, then it is the nasal sound. So what is the way of producing oral sound? This soft palate, as I told you, this soft palate has to be drawn above. If it is drawn above, only then the oral passage will open. And if it is drawn above, the nasal passage will get shut. For this condition to happen, the soft palate should be drawn up and your lips should be wide open so that the air or the wind faces no problem or no hindrance to come out of your mouth. The sounds which are produced by this way, or the sounds which are produced in this particular condition, what are the conditions? The soft palate is raised up, shutting your nasal passage and opening your oral passage, and your lips are wide open. So the sounds which are produced in this way are called oral sounds. So did you understand what is happening here? To summarize, the air in the windpipe is approaching your mouth and the soft palate is drawn up and your lips are wide open so that the wind can pass through your mouth without any hindrance. What can be the examples of oral sounds? Like sa, za. These are some examples of oral sound. Now comes nasal sound. So as you have understood by now that the sounds which are produced by nose are nasal sound. So you can see it in the diagram as well. See that in case of oral sound, the air is passing through the mouth, and in case of nasal sound, the air is passing through the nose. And in case of nasal sound, you can see that the lips are shut. And in case of oral sound, the lips are open so that the wind can pass through. So what is happening in the nasal sound? That in this production or in this process of production, the air is traveling up through the nasal passage. It is a feature which characterizes sounds that are produced by lowering the soft palate or the velum. Soft palate is also called velum. And it is obviously shutting the oral passage and allowing the air to escape through nose. As it is escaping through nose, so it is called nasal sound. So in this case, what are the mandatory conditions? That the soft palate should be lowered, or the velum, the soft palate and velum both are the same thing. It should be lowered, shutting the oral passage. Your lips should be tightly closed so that the air cannot pass through your oral passage, and it is bypassing through the passage of your nose. I hope you have understood what I told you in this slide, that how oral and nasal sounds are produced. Now, see, there is some examples I have also given of nasal sounds and oral sounds. In the word can, the na, the last syllable, na is the nasal sound. In case of mat, ma is the nasal sound. And in case of sang, the ng, ang, is the nasal sound. And oral sound, you know, the sounds which are produced by your mouth, cat, bat, sack, these are the oral sounds. Now, what is the second way of producing sounds? I told you that is the voiced and voiceless way. So the sounds produced in voiced method are known as voiced sounds. So what are voiced sounds and how are they produced? So voice sounds are produced in a condition when the vocal cords vibrate. This vibrating of vocal cords is also called voicing. And some phonemes which are produced in this manner, like when the vocal cords are vibrating, are like ba, da, ma, In the production of voiceless sounds such as p, t, k, on the other hand, the vocal cords do not vibrate, and the air passes through the windpipe through the open glottis. So the vocal cords are not vibrating here. The wind is not facing any hindrance to pass through the glottis. The glottis is open here. There is much space between the vocal cords. You remember what a glottis is, right? The space between the vocal cords is called glottis. So this vibration can be felt by putting your palm on the palm of your hand on the Adam's apple. Which one is the Adam's apple? You can, if you put your hand on your throat, you'll see that a swollen section is there that is called the Adam's apple. And if you put your palm on your Adam's apple, you will feel some vibration. If you feel some vibration while pronouncing something, that is the voice sounds. But if you do not feel any vibration, those are the voiceless sounds. So there are examples, see, and the phonemes are put in between slashes. As I have already told you, it is a must to put phonemes in between slashes. Now the third way of producing speech sounds, the vowels and the consonants. So the method of production of vowels and consonants are completely different. How a vowel is produced and how a consonant is produced are different from each other. The way or the method is completely different. So in English, all the vowels are oral and voiced. By now you know what is oral and voiced, how is an oral sound produced and how voice sounds are produced. So in English, all the vowels are oral and voiced. And among the consonants, only 3 are nasal. Which 3 of them? Like ma, na, and ang. What is ang? Like ing, singing, dancing. This ing represents ang sound. This ang sound is nasal. Okay. So how is a vowel produced? So a vowel is produced with your mouth wide open and your tongue in the middle of your mouth. But it can't touch the teeth or the lips of your mouth. So we all know that A, E, I, O, U are the vowels, but these vowels represent 20 vowel sounds. So in short, if there is no sort of friction in the vocal tract while producing a speech sound, then it is a vowel sound. While producing a vowel sound, there should be no friction. Okay. Now comes consonant. Consonants are produced by stopping the air from flowing easily through the mouth, especially by closing the lips or touching the teeth with the tongue. So there must be some obstruction or hindrance while producing the consonant. And this hindrance or obstruction should be either in your vocal tract or inside your mouth. So examples are buzz. So in short, it is a way in which the breath or the air is obstructed and which has to be combined with a vowel. It is very necessary. This is very necessary. It has to be combined with a vowel to form a syllable. So a friction is found in production of consonant sounds. Have you ever heard a consonant without a vowel? It cannot make a syllable, right? So always a consonant should be accompanied by a vowel to form a word or to form a syllable. So today up to this, I suppose you got some knowledge about the basic sounds of English. And in my next lecture, I will start with the vowel sounds. So if you have any problem, you can email me. And my email ID is ointrila.drroy88@gmail.com. Thank you.